Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the trading table. This is Andrew. Join with me is Landon, and today we're going to be going over some of the biggest movers of the market, what to watch for tomorrow, and more. Looking at our heat map here for the S&P 500, very, very red with the exception of NVIDIA, Meta, Avgo, and a few small caps. The market definitely slid a lot lower today, and we do have some pretty valuable information moving into Friday. There's a lot of things going on right now. So make sure you focus up and tune in. So looking at SPY's chart here, right, we can see that, SPY is still selling off due to semiconductors having the threat of, not having China as a buyer anymore or a consumer. So we could see, the market move lower until we get some good news come in, because that is super, super bad news. As you guys know, semiconductors pretty much move the market, right? Stocks like NVIDIA, TSM, right? Those are some chip stocks to name. But chip stocks also affect tech. So like Apple, Microsoft, they're all tied up in a bunch, right? NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta, they're all tied up. So if semiconductors are under threat of, losing a potential country as a customer and one of their biggest customers, that's definitely bad news for the market, or at least the S&P 500. Not everything is super bearish, though. We did get an updated news report saying that in September 17th and 18th, when they have their Fed meeting, they're really likely. I think it was a 97% chance that they're going to cut rates. And for those of you who don't know what that means that potentially, we might see the Fed cut our interest rates. So, it makes a lot more room for profit and growth. If companies are, taking out loans or whatever, they're not having to pay back super high interest. So it's good for the stock market. The stock market moves up quite a bit. So we could see that definitely. If rate cuts are being announced and stuff, you'll see a huge bull run on the market. There will be probably little to no time for puts. So yeah, rate cuts would be very good for those long-term investors who are, in right now. But SPY is still, on a downtrend. If we look at yesterday, right, we've just been straight dangerous slope down these past 2 days, which is pretty interesting, right? Because we were in one of the biggest uptrends SPY has ever had, and it looks like it's kind of getting terminated a little bit here for just the short term, at least until we could see some bullish news for those chip stocks. But we did live stream today, so if any of you managed to tune in on that, we did have a few good trades, right? I'm pretty sure this is the area we entered here. I'd have to double check, but yeah, we scalped in some calls. There was an opportunity to jump in some puts as well. So overall, it was a pretty good stream. So thank you for all those who tuned in. And if you didn't tune in, be sure to catch it tomorrow. We're going to try and be live at 9:20 Eastern time in the morning, every single morning. That's the goal. Obviously, sometimes it won't work out, but we will do our best, right? And just taking a look at some of these tech stocks, right? You could see Apple sell off, NVIDIA kind of had a sell off in the morning, then intraday turned around, which was pretty good, but not SPY. SPY kind of just kept falling. Didn't really follow. Once again, we're not really correlated to NVIDIA as much. We're more correlated towards Apple. That's why Apple's chart looks more similar than NVIDIA's. We were in a super NVIDIA biased market about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. But it's kind of shifted towards Apple now, which it does that. Who knows? Microsoft might be next. But yeah, even Microsoft, pretty similar correlation to SPY. So yeah, as the sell-off continues, just be careful because, there's no telling when we're at the low with the news, right? A lot of bearish news right now for these chip stocks. But SMH is also moving a lot lower. But switching our focus from semiconductors now, we're taking a look at China stocks who have also been doing pretty bad recently, right? Stocks like PDD, KWeb, BABA, they kind of made their way up for a second. And I really thought, they were going to have a bull run. That was immediately absolutely stomped on. That idea just disappeared as they are kind of downtrending again. So definitely not the best day for these China stocks. Looking at crypto, though, we did finish the day pretty red, right? We were moving up really, really high earlier today. like right in the morning. But then, huge sell off. And that's just because, Bitcoin was kind of downtrending for most of the day. It is still super high. And, Bitcoin, I think it definitely still has some room to run. But yeah, a little bit of a red day today. Nothing wrong with that. IWM is also getting off of its bull run. I know that we did have a big money play that we'll be going over later for IWM. And that moved absolutely beautifully. Landon will be going over that later. But yeah, we could definitely see some bearishness moving into next week. Wouldn't be too surprised if, SPY kind of drops down and maybe perhaps retests some key levels and key areas, maybe like the 550 area. Definitely wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. We actually almost saw that today on this candle right here on the 30-minute chart, right? We had a low on this candle of 550.43. So yeah, definitely dropped quite low today. And if we go ahead and see how much that is, we can see that, wow, down 1.5%, which is pretty abnormal for SPY. One last thing I do want to go over before I give it over to Landon, right? The VIX is super, super high. Well, at least just pertaining to like this time period, right? As we can see, the last time the VIX was this high was way back in May and April. So, just for like these past 2 months, the VIX is super high right now. But as you can see, there's a reason it's super high, right? Because it's just straight downward, super volatile. SPY is moving 1.5% in either direction on the day. So yeah, definitely gets a little bit of volatile there. But jumping over to Landon now for some of our big money plays.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. So for our first big money play, it was actually called at 9:40. 9:40, let's see, it was 9:42. I believe the play was for ticker symbol IWM, like you said, Andrew. And the play was a put option contract strike of 215, expiration of 8/16/2024, total premium count of 4 million, and a total volume of 16K. So that data there is actually pretty insane. All really good indicators that there's going to be a nice move. Entry there, initially we thought that was ideal entry because it did have a pretty good move upwards. And then it did start to kind of move down, like downwards, but it did continue to shoot up all the way until let's see, 10:03. So that made us a little nervous, but this is kind of more swing trades, not really like scalp or quick entry exit type of plays. So yeah, after that it would just the stock just straight printed downwards. I mean, except for around 1240, this is did have a little bit of pullback up, but overall just really good move there. Just continue to move down. um that's actually a phenomenal play. I know me and Andrew both did get in this play. We had really good profits on this one. um Probably will spend it on Chipotle tomorrow. But really solid play there. And we did take profit towards the bottom, just because we did see it start to pull back up. We were like, what the heck? We're already up over 30%. Might as well just, call it a day. But moving on to our next one, it's actually for ticker symbol PCRX. Um, and this one is as well a put option contract. And the play is for strike of 20, expiration of 8/16/2024, total premium count 603K, and total volume of 2K. Not a lot going on here in terms of the stock. We did actually see it move down today. Pretty nice move. Not my favorite just because there isn't really a lot of volume going into this stock. Um, but if you guys do kind of like to trade these, like small companies, this could be the one for you because this is a really good move. The bot called this at 12:30, so right before that, pretty big move downwards. So really good play there. In terms of big money. But moving on from there, I actually did want to talk about crypto because today crypto we had kind of like World War II. I don't know what was going on with crypto, but we did see it move downwards. Kind of insane the move we had today, specifically with Riot. In terms of Riot, we did we. I'm looking at it in terms of like days and not minutes. So that's why maybe I might be a little more optimistic. Um, but we haven't seen it recross in terms of EMA 13 and EMA 50 on the day. So this could be just kind of a pullback before we see it to kind of continue moving upwards. But when you guys are investing in crypto, unless you're going for the long run, short term is a little closer to gambling than I personally would like. So definitely keep your stop losses and stuff very tight because you know crypto in the short term is very unpredictable. But other than that, back to you, Andrew.
Yeah, for sure, Landon. I mean, I don't know how those crypto traders do it. They move like the crypto moves mountains during the day, right? It can go from like a peak up here all the way down to here in 2 hours, and that's down 2.77%. So, yeah, crypto definitely a lot more risky than options trading, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people are better at it than others. So, hats off to whoever trades crypto. But yeah, like Landon said, right? Look at it more on a macro type of scale for crypto. Because the goal, I feel like most people goal with Bitcoin is just like long term. You know what I mean? A lot of people just want to hold it for the long term. There are a lot of traders who do trade like other coins and stuff, but yeah, Bitcoin in the long term, I'm almost like 100% sure that it will just go up just because of the concept of it, right? But we're gonna go ahead and take a look at our earnings now. I know that I do believe if we do take a look, actually. TSM reported earnings this morning, right? I forgot to go over this today. TSM did report earnings, and it didn't really do too much, to be honest. It was pretty fair. This is just kind of like normal market movement. Like the rest of the market moved kind of like this today. ASML also reported earnings today, or this morning, or sorry, on Wednesday. My apologies there. And they gapped down, right? And they're still kind of downtrending. Just I would stay away from these right now. Definitely not a great time to pick up long-term shares just because of the imposing threat of Taiwan and China, right? And how we're gonna charge Taiwan for security and just all that crazy stuff going on, like I mentioned earlier in the video. So definitely not my favorite plays right now. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump over to our earnings reports. So looking at our earnings calendar, right? Like I said, we had TSM pop out before open today. After close, we did have Netflix, and looks like they're down, but not too much. Definitely not a lot. So looks like their earnings was green, but that doesn't always mean that the stock price will rise. Definitely not a crazy move there. Tomorrow before open, we've got a few financial institutions: American Express, Fifth Third Bank. Not sure who they are. And that's about it for tomorrow. Not really seeing any more notable companies. I thought that was Coca-Cola. I know Coca-Cola's ticker symbol is KO. I'm actually curious to see real quick. No, so that's not the actual Coca-Cola ticker. Not really 100% sure what that is. But yeah, other than that, not a whole lot going on before open on Friday. But now we're going to go ahead and take a look at our economic calendar. So for tomorrow, we don't really have a lot of important stuff. We just have a bunch of like Fed meetings. They're not, this is no Powell though. Okay. This is not going to move the market nearly as much. And I doubt they're going to be talking about rate cuts. I think they're going to leave that to Powell. So Powell is the chair of the Fed, and these are just Fed members. So not as important there. But today, we had our PFMI come out, just to shorten it up. I don't know if that's actually an acronym for it, but Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index came out really good. Initial jobless claims came out a little worse than expected. Those two kind of counteracted each other, and SPY didn't really have a move off of it though. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Trading Table. This has been Andrew and Landon. Please be sure to tune into our free live stream tomorrow. We're live on this YouTube channel every morning. And be sure to check out our free Discord. Link is in the description for more of our plays. You get alerted right away, completely free. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at market close.